Are you a freelancer? Because I have something I gotta show you. Do you ever feel like your income is inconsistent or your taxes sneak up on you and savings is just an afterthought? Well, this is the exact system full-time freelancers are using to bring order to their finances, even with irregular income. Because I want you to meet Carlos, and obviously I changed his name, but this is a client that we just built a map for, and he's a full-time freelance graphic designer based on the West Coast. Last year, he earned about $120,000 working with tech startups and marketing agencies, but even with a six-figure income, his savings and finances felt inconsistent and he constantly felt behind. Some months he earned $12,000, other months he earned $4,000, and he was never quite sure of how much he could spend or how much he could pay himself. Estimated taxes were a nightmare, and savings, well, let's be honest, it was just aspirational at best. And here's the thing that Carlos wanted to accomplish. He wanted to smooth out his income so that he could help pay himself consistently. He wanted to stay on top of his taxes without adding more stress. He wanted to build an emergency fund because that kind of feast or famine mindset, those months were very real in his business. And he wanted to save for a 2026 backpacking trip through Patagonia. So an amazing goal to have, and we were able to help him out with this. So here's exactly what we did. Carlos connected his account. We created a freelance income account for him so that all of his new income for his business would go directly into that account. Next up, we created a few different accounts. We call them pods, but they're checking accounts that we're able to instantly create for you based on all of your goals. In this case, we created a tax account, a business operating expense account, an emergency fund, owner's pay, and his Patagonia trip. We also synced his outside IRA because he wanted to start investing and making sure that that money was going to future good use rather than just being spent right now. So in this situation, we wanted to mimic a $6,000 contract that he just pulled in so you could see what all happened with his money. So we set up these rules, and let me show you so you can take a look. In this case, every single time money hits his account, we set up a series of rules. And again, you can always set this up every single time money hits, or do it on a monthly, weekly, bi-weekly basis, however you want to set it up. In this case, he wanted this to run every single time he got money because it was just a few clients and they were pretty consistent with when they would pay him. In this case, we had 30% immediately going to the tax account, in this case, $1,800. After that, we wanted to transfer a fixed amount of $500 into the emergency fund so that would constantly grow. Next up, we had his Patagonia trip. So $500 was going to the Patagonia trip. After that, owner's pay. So $3,000 going to his checking account so that he could pay himself consistently and afford his bills. Next up, he wanted $200 going into his business expense account. Obviously not a lot of business expenses, but wanted to make sure there was something there for the marketing side. And then everything else was going to his IRA. Now, we could always set up a limit. So if his income started to significantly increase, we could add that limit. Obviously, it depends on what type of IRA you have, but in this case, I believe it was a SEP IRA. So let's just call it $23,500. In this case, we could set it for the year. And just like that, we're all set so that we make sure we don't oversave into that specific account. If need be, we can instantly add a new brokerage account so that that extra money, once his IRA is filled up, could start sending it down to the other investment accounts that he has. But this way, we were able to set up all of that money that he was making on a monthly basis and running the rules every single time the money comes in. The distribution is consistent, even if the income isn't consistent. So now, Carlos has a great setup. He pays himself regularly, regardless of the client timelines. Hits tax season with cash already set aside because this is an account dedicated for his taxes, and we didn't even cover the fact that all of these accounts come with a debit card, both a virtual and a physical debit card that you can order, so you can spend directly out of them or send them to your bank account if you don't want to switch banks. Not a problem, doesn't matter in this case, but he wanted to use the Sequence account. He has over $6,000 saved up for his Patagonia trip already. Built a 3-month emergency fund in less than a year so that he could take care of that and check it off the list. And remember, you don't need a steady paycheck to have steady financial progress. You just need a smart system. So if you're a freelance designer making $80,000, $120,000, or even $200,000 or more, but you're still stressed about money, you got to try this out. Build your map, automate your money, and take control of your finances. And remember, if you want this map to use yourself, just click the link below and you'll have the template already ready to go. Remember, take control of your money. Go check out Sequence today.